Hello, this is Andy Graham of Hobo Traveler. I don't know what I'm going to call this, but I guess I dream about Paul Thoreau, and I dream about Henry David Thoreau, and I read about, I think about travel writers, and I think about, I don't know, Tolstoy or James Michener. James Michener, there's a man, I read many of his books, or Wilbur Smith. Where did these guys go to? This Burroughs guy, I went to Tangier, Morocco one time, and I stayed in a hotel where this guy wrote, like, I don't know, The Naked whatever, which I didn't read the book, and I really didn't, but, you know, there's I was over in Haiti where they wrote a book in this house, but somewhere down the line we all sit in the room and we write, or we do something. So the dream is we sit here and we come to grips with what we're doing. And somewhere out of the end of it comes something worthy of telling the world. Today I'm trying to record all the stuff I'm doing, and I'm kind of having an epiphany in my ability to record. I mean, I don't know what you call it. I'm a blogger, and I sometimes say I chronicle the real world. Well, we only cover about 1% of the real world. The world's pretty difficult to cover, especially in real time. And I sure as hell don't want to have a reality show where everything is real. But I do think that showing how we think is valuable, because if we could copy from the best, if I could see exactly how James Michener collected his data. I mean, if you ever read Michael Crichton, I mean, if you read State of Fear, he's got so much information at the end of the book. This guy is not just a writer, he's a person that collected data. And James Michener wrote about all these locations around these planet, like the Caribbean, that he would go live there for 6 months and then write about it. So what he had to do is he had to compile it. He didn't have a computer. He didn't have all this stuff. He had just piles of paper and stuff like that. And truthfully, I think I'm actually probably more disorganized than he was. But I admire these guys because what they did is they collected information and they somehow created a story and recreated it into a format. So it's pretty easy to collect the raw data. It's incredibly difficult to keep it organized. I mean, I think everybody collects piles and reams of crap, and then about 1 in 100 actually can file it away in a filing cabinet where they actually can retrieve it in a normal way. Okay. What I do every day is I wake up at some ungodly time. It's actually 2:28 a.m. on Sunday. It's pretty crazy. I actually, I just fall asleep too early, so I don't have nothing to do, and I don't really go to the bars like that. I don't drink, so I end up falling asleep at 9:30 or something like that, then watching movies during the day or something. I don't really try to entertain myself after the dark. I like to walk around early in the morning. I mean, at sunrise instead of whatever. Okay. I've had a lot of troubles. My back's been really hurting, so I wake up every day. And I'll show you, just to, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and this is going to freak my mom out. But that's every day I get up now, and I'm taking I want to show you how my shirt, it says something somewhere went terribly wrong. We got a little monkey that turns into a computer. This is my life. I have 2 ampules, and these are in shots, and every day I give myself a shot right here in the lower sacroiliac area with the thing. I'm doing it every single day of the week right now, which is horrible. But I want to finish this book, and I don't care anymore. I want the pain to stop for 30 days so I can finish this book. If I got to get addicted to Dexatoma or whatever this stuff is, I am. It's 8 milligrams of Dexatoma or something like that. It's kind of a synthetic cortisone, and what it does is it stops inflammation, and it makes it so that I can sit in this chair. A month ago, I couldn't sit in this chair, and I was working in the bed. It was ridiculous. You know, I'm working around all these problems and trying to do it, and the pain was killing me. I have sciatica, which is a disc that pushes against my spinal column. I actually have a loose joint because I had a broken femur, and I have a shorter leg. And then I think I have a sacroiliac that is sitting, you know, my joint sits crooked. So these three pains make it so that if I take one of these shots in the sacroiliac area, it goes away. I usually sit around in, I will tell you, I sit around in my fisherman pants from Thailand, which are about the best, most comfortable pair of pants you ever could get. Like, kind of like shorts, but you know, they're just great for hanging around the room. I'm always worried that I won't have a new pair if I got to get back to Thailand and get a couple more pairs. But this is my life. I get up, I work on the computer, and I type in this thing, and then I normally will call up Andrew on Skype, and we'll talk. It's probably, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the afternoon or something, 3 o'clock, and 2 o'clock in the afternoon in India. I don't know what time it is. But I call him up around on Skype. Right today is Sunday, so he's not working, but he takes off those Saturdays and Sundays, but goes with his girlfriend, I hope. Okay, so what I'm doing is I take these shots, and then I have these different things I record, right? So now I got a tripod that I made, and it's portable, disposable. I can make a new one everywhere I'm at, and I can do this a lot easier. So I made this leap in the ability to set up the camera, okay? And then I'm making the leap in my desire to show what I do, because the internet has become so impersonal, non-personal. It's just not trust to be trusted. I mean, this place is, the internet's a big pile of shit. Everybody's maneuvering everybody. And somehow I got to show you that I'm not maneuvering you, so you know, I just want to show you my life and what I'm doing. I don't really want to maneuver you. I want to make a friend of you. I don't want to give you the feeling that I'm constantly taking you and leading you down the path, the primrose path. I believe, I just don't understand how one person would want to take who they are and put it on the internet and in writing in a way that's not true. Why would I want to portray myself as something that I'm not? That means they're writing about this fictitious person, okay? And that's what the world's doing right now, is they create this dreamland visual, I don't know what you want to call it. They want to make this thing that is fantasy. They create this image of a person that's not real. Then they want you to fall in love with them. And the sad part is people do. They fall in love with this image, and then, you know, but how do you uphold an image that is not really you? This is me, okay? I'm trying to give you the raw data of who I am. Okay, so what I do is I sit here, I drink my coffee, I type in a thing. So for years I've been blogging now for 8 years, and then I type it in. Then I take photos with my camera, and then I put photos. Now, photos only give you a little glimpse. They're like a one-stop shop, you know, boom. They're not really very detailed. Okay, then you can pick videos. Videos are less difficult than shots because I don't have to type in all this stuff below the picture to the video to explain the video. The video is sort of self-explanatory. It gives my body language, it gives my voice, it gives everything at one time. Okay, so what I'm able to do right now is, which is interesting, is I can bring these mediums together. The typing I enter, which I like to minimize because typing really is a lot of work. Okay, but it's there to give you like a list. Like bulleted list are what's really good about typing. I can so I record it, then we have it so that it all goes live on the internet in a what you see, what you get format. So basically we're making it so that readers and everybody can actually write articles on our thing and do the exact same thing as me. So I can take pictures, record the pictures, and you know they can upload all this stuff for free on Hobo Traveler as a member. And you know now they can write on 100 other websites. So we're going this big thing, and I'm a digital. Okay, so what are we doing is I record the photos I take, the things I write, and the videos. Okay, but what's also nice is, and this is what's kind of in there, is I went to this, I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually a hard drive taped on the back of my computer in this bag, and I can put 2 in there, and now I can back up all my data, because really what happens is it gets disorganized. You need to be able to make a copy of your hard drive. So now I have 2 terabyte hard drives, and I can copy all the data directly to the hard drive, get off my computer, and then I can use a program called Vice Versa where I make a copy of that disk and keep making it so I don't accidentally lose it, because the data is worth more than the computer, which is, the techies never seem to understand that. What you type in took a lot more time than the thing. Okay, so I made a big jump here because I went to this sort of live system where I'm always backing it up on a hard drive, which is maybe 2nd generation thing. They're going to talk about putting things in the cloud, and this is all a bunch of crap for another 10 years. But I have a cloud, I have my own server, I have all this stuff, but what I have to do is protect the data. Okay. So if I make a video, I put it on the thing, and then I save it. But I also have a program now where I can record. It's also the recording of information, right? So I have to, one of the big windfalls has been a program called YouTube Downloader, where I can actually record any kind of video that's on the internet and collect the raw data into a file. So I collect books, I download books, I put them into a file onto this hard drive, I download videos, which I download just voice files, and I download. So I have filing system now which is made by subject. So like, say I'm collecting information right now on body language, I put them all into a file that goes up in the folder, and I can retrieve this stuff in seconds. And then to create it in a way that you don't just have an overabundance of crap, this thing, you have to have this litmus test as to how far the data goes before it. But to learn something, you have to actually learn to write a book. What you have to do is, or to make a website, or anything. A website, which is, this is the funny part, a website is a collection of a large amount of data that's brought together into a concise little thing, and hopefully, and this is where people fail, is instead of just writing up a bunch of crap, they actually do their research so they really do understand the subject. Now, understanding a subject, if I want to learn about body language, and I've been writing about that just because I got this preoccupation about it, is I have to watch maybe, well, I've watched over, I don't know, probably 150 videos at least, and I've got downloaded about 15 books on the subject, and I've skimmed over them, and then I try to go over the major points. Now that I've got this major understanding of it, I can go into more detailed, and then I can break it down into sections, outline it into major categories, and I can actually start writing a book of my own about body language. And that's kind of how I approach every subject I deal with. I just start writing a book on it. Now I have in process about 8 books, and I hope to be starting to pull these things out in little money-making ventures here every 6 months. Once I get the first one done, I'll know how it works, and then I can repeat the process. So hopefully I'll get this book, A Life Without Borders, where I explain 100 places to live on the planet that are good for hanging out and doing just what I'm doing. And see, I'm a digital nomad traveler. I have a website now called Digital Nomad Traveler, where I explain how to do that, so that the dream is that we could live and work anywhere we want to on the planet, and we're really free. Now, whatever that means. But this is how my life starts every day, and this is who I am. At the end of the day, it always starts out in, what's the word, amphormist? There's a word I like, amphormist. It's basically a cloud of, I have a cloud of data all over the place that I have to kind of bring together into a little thing and put into an organized way, and then create something. Now, people get angry at me because what I create on the internet sometimes is not as, it's not as crisp and clean and as great as what it is. On the other side is the amount of data that I'm collecting is so huge that to spend all my time on the format is sort of thing. I mean, you can pay people to edit, and I mean, eventually, if I got rich, geez, I just hand this crap to somebody and they spit it out, right? You know, it's really huge. It's almost anal when somebody's talking about my vocabulary, not my vocabulary, my grammar or something. If you really get it down to a medium, you're going to just have somebody just fix all this stuff for you. There's a point where you want to get to the point where the essence of what you're creating is of true value. Now, what is of true value? That's, you know, of course, you know, you got your detractors and whatever. But you got to believe in your mind that what you're doing is worthy. That there's a reason for it, and that there's got to be an arrogance to a writer. I think there's got to be just an absolute arrogance where you believe that you have something to say that needs told. It's not a question mark. It's 100% something that needs told to the world. Now, whether it needs told, there's books being written. My friend Tim Leffels, he's on this big thing where he's trying to explain, and I was in his book called Travel Writing 2.0 or something, where he's basically explaining that no longer is writing just writing. It has to be a compilation of bringing together of writing, digital stuff, internet pages, newspapers. You have to bring them all together and work them dynamically, or you're not going to make it. And I agree. I mean, you can't, no longer can you just write a book and just sell it. And you have to really, I mean, I don't want to, I hate freaking Facebook. It's such an anal medium, but I have to deal with it. Okay, because I can't even write my nephews if I don't get on it, because that's the only place they're hanging out. I got to go to the club where I don't want to be. But these things all work together, and we have to be open-minded to going into areas that we don't really care about and do it. Okay, so, but if you got a voice, and then you can create a way to communicate that voice to people, and if you believe that, well, and if you're honest, I believe, I don't think you can succeed really greatly unless you're an honest person on your own. I mean, you can be part of an organization like New York Times, and you can be a writer, then they can force you to be good. But if you actually want to be your own business, what we're selling is of proprietary value is our opinions. It's an opinion that cannot be perverted. It must stay pure, and an attempt to, you know, must congeal. I had a lot of problems with this book because I'm having moral problems with. I don't want people to buy real estate, and I realized that I was sort of recommending real estate inadvertently. So I'm taking a stand. I'm not going to recommend real estate. I want them to at least wait 2 years before they even think about it. I also have a problem with, you know, so this book has to be defensible. I had to be defended. If I get on CNN and I defend it, or National Geographic Adventure, they're supposed to interview me someday. Okay. I need to defend a book against all comers. I have to believe in what I'm writing. So this is a problem if you accidentally write something you don't believe in. So I had some big moral issues on these things. Okay. So all the data goes in, the raw data comes in, I record it, then I spit it out into something that's real. This is what I do every day. I don't know why, you know, I do things, but I do it. And then I try to make money. But if you have a real voice and you explain it, it will come out eventually in a way that touches somebody, whether good or bad, or they get angry or they get provoked. It's not real important. But you touch somebody. Wade from Vagabond Journeys always says, Andy, you did great. You got hate mail. I said, because I touched somebody so hard that I got into their brain and they sit down and wrote me hate mail. Well, writing is to make you feel, is to make you think, and to make you maybe go a little outside your world and look at it from a different way. If I can make you feel enough that you actually write me in hate mail, I made you feel. I get a lot of hate mail, but it's not what I like. Please don't send me hate mail. I try to stay away from this. My life is not about the readers. It's about me enjoying my life and doing it. It is hopefully you just looking over my shoulder and sharing my venture. I'm in the Dominican Republic right now, which is a really weird place because this city, Sosua, is just one big brothel. And it's humorous because I get to... There's a lot of brothels on the planet. I don't know what the deal is, but, you know, men go travel, whatever. But the great part about it is there's a lot of men for me from the United States that I can talk to. And there's more people, because I miss the United States. I miss the conversations. So I have to go to a place like Angeles City or places like this where there's piles of Americans sitting around if I really want to interface with my own culture. But this is one of the best places on the planet to work on the internet. I got a room for $235, high-speed internet, you know, color TV, refrigerator thing, and my life is completely manageable. I'm now able to enter into the next phase where I'm going to start recording everything every day and trying to give you an ongoing story of my life as what it is truly like to live as a person, as a world traveler. I've been traveling for 14 years. I've never stayed in one place longer than 3 months. Yo hablo español, je parle français, pour passer Thai, falo portuguesa. I really know a lot about the world. Now the hard part is I also worry that someday, I'm starting to worry about the tips part, because I really have a lot of tips that I'd like to tell you about, and I can't. I gotta pound them out. There's so many of them, it would take ages, and a lot of them are really great inventions. And it's like this tripod I got. It's a wonderful invention, but how do I get a camera to show you my tripod? I gotta do it. I have a tripod made out of some things, but okay, what we do is we're trying to chronicle the real world and trying to give you a temptation to see a different lifestyle. That is what I'm doing. I'm just showing you a glimpse of my life on the idea that if you wanted to, you could sort of copy some of it. You know, for sure this is not for everybody, and most people would do much better just reporting to work every day and having a family and 2 children. I just never got married. Okay, AndyHoboTraveler.com in Sosua, Dominican Republic. It's the 1st of January in 2012. It was like the 8th or something like that. Sunday morning, and this is my my life. I'm going to do this on a daily basis. Probably try to keep it shorter so that I don't ramble. But I know my mother will appreciate it because she's wants to know what her son's up to, and my life is simple, extremely simple. I have no appointments. I do whatever I want to do, and I earn enough money to live anywhere I want. What is essential about me is I live within my means, and if all of a sudden my world became more expensive, I could go even cheaper. I can live for literally less than $100 a month here. I could go get a room in Charmicos, and a simple room with electricity. The internet would be more difficult, but I could go. Everybody on the planet lives in a room for about $50 a month. 85% of the planet lives for $50 a month. It's just too easy to live outside the United States. But the temptation to expand our lifestyle to all these wants is a little bit crazy. Okay, I live within my means. I'm a simple person. All I want is to be able to watch a movie every day on the internet. I watch movies all the time on the computer. I read books. I go to the beach, and I collect raw data, which I then I'm trying to slowly put into books. The goal is that I create something of value that people want to read. And but I wish I could have got to see James Michener, Tom Clancy, Paul Thoreau sitting in Dark Star Safari going across Africa. He's sitting in these rooms in probably Kenya, just writing away, scrambling his little notes and bringing them together. This is what these guys did, and they come out with something on the other end. It's pretty cool. Well, this is the other end. This is part of the end. This is where I'm at. This is what I do. Andy Hobo Traveler haven't showered yet, in Dominican Republic.